Hey.
Good day, everyone, and welcome to the after show. So it's Friday, it's 5 o'clock. This is not normally what we'd be doing at Friday at 5 o'clock, and most of you are driving home. It's what happens. But hey, we did not want to pass up this opportunity. We had Mr. Jason Digos in the house from Modus. Last time we had Modus on, we had Tony and Juan on talking about the introduction of these new products. Now we actually have the products here, and we just got done filming a whole thingy on this, so that's going to be fantastic. But we thought it'd be great because we know a lot of you guys are curious about Modus. You want to know more about the radios. You've asked us that. We have some new products that are behind us, like the rest of the amplifiers. So we know now there's 3 lines of amplifiers, and so we can talk about each one. But he's in town because Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're going to be at the Tampa Convention Center at the IBEX Boat Show. The Cybertruck will be there along with all of the other marine stuff that they have planned. So it's going to be a pretty big deal. We'll, of course, be live talking about all that fun stuff, but we did not want to pass up this opportunity to have you, Jason, on the show for the first time live.
Yeah, first time live. Awesome.
Yeah. So, gosh, where to begin? Okay, so you probably know more of this than, let's say, you have a different perspective than Juan and Tony when they were on, because you're more of the marketing side of things. For those people that don't know, this guy right here, I know he seems maybe like, he's one of the most famous installers of all time. And he was partners with probably the most famous installer of all time. Can we start there just a little bit?
Sure.
How did you stumble into working, you and Brian, together? So Brian Schmidt, aka Mobile Solutions, and Mr. Jason Digos here were partners.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So I started like when I was in high school in Hawaii, right? So we moved to California. My dad told me I had to go get a regular job, but the only thing I knew how to do was install car stereos. So while I was going to school, I was working at a stereo shop. I was working at Breaker Stereo, which is at the time was the largest single store Rockford dealer in the country in Oxnard, California.
Okay.
So I was fortunate enough to get invited to RTTI Top Gun, which is back then was the most renowned fabrication class that you could ever get invited to in our industry. And they only had them a couple of times a year. So I was able to do that. I went out there. I got to meet a bunch of really cool people at Rockford. Brian was our instructor. And then about a year later after that, he hired me. And I went to go work at Rockford.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, it was really cool. I worked there for 10 years. Brian and I built the Tony D. Brian and I built the Nissan Frontiers together. So there were 3 of those, the Xterra. And then I went on, Brian left, and I went on and with Mike Eckley, Kyle Witherspoon, and a couple of other guys at Rockford, we built the Nissan 350Z.
Okay.
Mark Fukuda was part of that project.
Okay.
He was our boss at the time. And then we built the Hummer H2 and then the Sprinter vans. So,
wow.
Yeah, it was cool. It was, it traveled all around the world. So, yeah, it was a really, really cool time in my career to just kind of, be a part of that for about 10 years. So that was awesome. But that's how I worked with Brian.
If any of you ever go to Mobile Solutions, there's a hallway in the back of the classroom, and on it is the Nissan door panel. And there's a little placard on the bottom that says Brian Schmidt and Jason Digos. So that's a pretty big piece of history there. Yeah. And I know you just look at me and go, yes, he's one of. So I just wanted to get that out because though I met you much later for totally different reasons, I didn't even know that side of you when we met. I feel it's important because everyone's got to rock their creds, man, and you have a pedigree that is impressive as hell. There again, I met you when you worked for Audison Electromedia. Yep. Mm-hmm. The trip I often talk about where we all met in California that one time with pretty much every heavy hitter in the industry showed up for, and somehow I got invited. That was like when I met Dave Kaz and like 10,000 other people. That was a crazy trip, which I knew I had met you there, but still, like, I look like you've been to hundreds of those, but that one was the only one I went to, and the people that were there, you had Tony come and speak. Larry came and spoke.
Yep.
It was a crazy show, or a crazy event. I still look back at that as one of the coolest things I've ever been to, just because the people that were there all went on to become like greats in the industry. That's where I met Dougie.
Yep.
Because I didn't even know who Dougie was, and everyone was like, "Dougie, keep your pants on." I'm like, "Why?"
We still say that.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I went over to Europe with him, and that was a whole nother experience. We got married, apparently.
So you want to see it?
No, I'm good. No. Doug and I got married over in Europe, so it was pretty crazy. Anyways, so that's just a little dang. Those amps can take 58 volts. Yes. So let's kind of break this down. Let's dive into it. That's a good place to start. Let's kind of start in order. Fernando, can we get you to head back to the Fernando cam? Because I feel like the silver amp is where we need to start on this journey. Would that be correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna go back to the counter back here, and we're gonna take a look at the first amp. Susie gets over there. I'll turn it on. The silver one.
Yeah, there's
that. There you go. All right, so let's pull that guy up there.
Cool.
We'll turn that on. Tell us about this guy.
So in Modus, in the automotive side, there are 3 lines of amplifiers, and this one that we're looking at here is the Portale 6-channel.
The what-y?
Portale.
Portale.
Yeah, so that's our entry level. So this is going to be available in a 6-channel, 4-channel, and a mono. Really clean look. All your necessary controls for an entry level amplifier. Just a real clean, compact chassis. Just a real clean look. So that's our automotive. And then just keep in mind, we have applications for automotive and marine. So what we're looking at here is for automotive. So that's our entry level. And then next to that, you'll have the Apex, which is the top of the line. So this is a design that Tony Demore and Juan Rodriguez came up with in their T-Series from Demore Engineering. So in Modus, they have refined it. It's a little bit bigger chassis.
It's double the size.
But it's also more power.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this thing is really cool. It's a Class AB amplifier, but it's got a high voltage Class A input section.
Okay.
So, and there's nothing in between the audio signal coming in and going through the amplifier. So there's no crossovers, no bass boost, none of that.
Thank God.
And as you can see, what Fernando is showing you there, inside, that's the heatsink. So all of those FETs are mounted to that aluminum heatsink, and that's situated right in the middle of the circuit board. And that shroud right there on the top is where the fan is, and that draws cool air in. And because all of those components that make heat are concentrated on that heatsink, we're able to cool them much more efficiently. And the other advantage there is because the heatsink is internal, like you can't touch it, we can run the devices a lot hotter, which they're designed to perform that way. So we can run them at a much higher rate, and they do get pretty warm. But because of the way that the heatsink is designed and the way that it's cooled, one, you can't touch it, but also we can be more efficient with that power and really deliver that kind of performance that we need in this kind of amplifier. So it's a really, really ingenious design that the guys came up with, and it absolutely sounds amazing.
It does look like a water-cooled PC.
Yeah.
And Tony tells a wonderful story about how he came up with this idea in his Mercedes-Benz and the way the whole thing was, which when we had him on the show, he did tell us about it. And I've had him tell me about it many times. I always enjoy it. It's like, tell me again, Tony. And it's a fantastic story of seeing something and going, I can use that for my design.
Right.
And so, and of course, the original ones were much smaller, and we got to see those. That was Dallas, like.
Yeah, in the VW.
Ago.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah.
That was
so definitely bigger footprint, but I mean, 4-channel and a mono, like mono 750 watts.
Nice.
The 4-channel is 125 by 4. And it's awesome. I mean, and that's the actual footprint size there. So, but I mean, it is bigger than the original one, but considering that it's a Class AB amplifier, I mean, it's gonna be amazing. So,
I mean, that's kind of a weird question. So let's go to this one. It says, where are the amps manufactured? What market are they aimed at? So they're designed here in the U.S.
Yes, they're all
Tony and
designed.
Juan.
So Tony and Juan, and Tony's in here somewhere. He and Juan are the chief engineers at Modus, and these are all their designs. So they're designed here, and Tony and Juan actually work with the factories in Asia. So they travel there quite a bit to make sure that their designs are being manufactured properly. So we do have some really good manufacturing partners in Asia, and Tony and Juan oversee that. So that quality and making sure that the performance standards are met. So it's not just going to a build house and saying, here, build this, like Tony and Juan have spent quite a bit of time.
I say they're very picky, and they've been going back and forth. And I guess SQ, I would call it, it's the AB amp.
Yeah, definitely.
That'd have to be SQ.
Yeah, those Apex amplifiers are definitely SQ. Yeah.
Now, the real question I would have asked is shipping. When are we going to see these amplifiers? Because like last time it was March, we were like, hey, the future is, but now the future is now.
The future is now. Yeah. So, one thing with, and everyone knows, getting these perfect and working the way we want, especially having the engineering team that we have, everything's got to be right. So it has taken us a little bit more time than what we wanted.
It always does, Jason. Yeah. You know this.
Yep.
Yeah. You know this.
And as much as our sales team and of course all of you guys out there are wanting to see these and get these in your vehicles, we are definitely pushing really hard. We will have product being released in the next 30 to 45 days. So marine applications, so amplifiers, marine speakers and subwoofers, and also Modus is a full line of products. So we've got head units for automotive and marine applications,
which we're going to talk about in a minute. So let's not get too deep into the head unit thing.
But you'll start to see Modus product hitting dealers in about 30 to 45 days. So just to answer that, website is being updated constantly. So if you go on there now, see Max had a question. So if you go on there now, there's product on there and specs, and we're working on that every day to get that all updated. So that's a kind of a constant thing in our marketing department. So we've got that going on. So yes, for sure, we are continuing to populate that.
Okay, so entry level amps are coming out first.
Entry level car amplifiers,
yes.
And then these Mezo amps that are in the Cybertruck. Those are also going to be.
So the ABs are going to be last.
The ABs are going to be later.
So that'll be first part of next year.
Probably about first part of next year.
First or second quarter next year.
Yeah, it'll be next year.
And these will be November, December.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's one.
Hey.
The other part of our engineering team there, Juan and Tony. So
the quiet one.
Yes.
They're both engineers. Neither one of them are quiet. Actually, I think Juan is the louder.
They speak in algorithms.
Yeah, yeah. Exactly. Tony speaks in math.
Yeah.
See, I always like the story. So, like when we were at MasterTech, I got them to tell me the story of how they met, because it's always like Fernando and I. It's like they're always, how'd you guys meet? And it's like, it's a funny story. So yeah, we just showed the website, but I got them to tell me their story. That was really cool. So let's talk about these guys here.
Yeah.
What do we call these?
So those are the Mezo. Those are MZA 8Ms. So those are actually 8-channel marine amplifiers.
Okay.
So they're 8 channels at 125 watts by 8 at 4 ohms, and about 175 by 8 at 2 ohms, and they're bridgeable. So we have them in this application just because they're marine amps. We can put them anywhere, but
yeah,
they're pretty awesome. They have 2 of our patented technologies in there. So Preact, which is our current averaging. All right, so Tony, look at that. He's a 200 by 8.
Oh,
all right.
It's like I said, constantly dealing with the builders.
We just turned it up a little bit. Thanks, Tony. So 200 by 8. Jaron. So if you guys see that, Jaron Digos, that's my son. He's the guy that built all of our demo cars. So Delta Concepts USA, he's a Navy veteran, left the Navy, started his own company, and we've kept him pretty busy with all the demo cars at Modus.
And all the little boxes. Yeah.
Okay,
so first technology
is called Preact, and that is the current averaging technology. So 2 big advantages there. First, it allows us to operate between 9 and 58 volts. So that's a pretty wide application. So,
which is perfect for this truck.
Yeah, Cybertruck is 48 volts. I mean, all the other Teslas are 16 volts. But we know from just research and talking to people in the automotive industry that a lot of the automotive manufacturers are going to 48 volts. So this is something that, when we say the future is now, I mean, it's going to happen. So the advantage to that is that power supply, that intelligent power supply that's in there. So it's 9 to 58 volts on the input side. And then what that does is there's a microprocessor controlled power supply in there.
Mm-hmm.
And it links up with a lithium ion power cell. And that lithium ion power cell is linked to the amplifier side. So the amplifier typically would have two parts, right? A power supply and then the amplifier side. So in ours, we've got that power supply, the lithium ion cell, and then the amplifier side operates at 24 volts and it pulls current from the onboard lithium ion power cell. So that averages that current draw over time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the car never sees those big current draw spikes that when a bass note hits and your headlights dim and then all the stuff kind of goes wacky in the car. Because it's all internal, the car just becomes a battery charger for our power supply. So it keeps that lithium ion cell, that reservoir full, right? So when the bass hits and it needs current, it draws it from that internal power cell, and then everything just keeps working the way it's supposed to.
And just to put that in perspective so that we can kind of all just like, we heard him talking and we were like, yeah. So there's 4 8-channel amplifiers, as Tony said, 200 times 8 in this 48 volt system. And they're connected to 2 48 volt accessory ports on the car, meaning there's a little tiny accessory port here and there's one in the back. So they ran 2 12 gauge wires?
14
gauge wires.
Yeah.
Power and ground, or just power?
Power and ground.
So they ran 2 speaker wires.
Yeah.
One from the back of the car, one from underneath the hood here. They're going into this, which is, this is not part of it. This is just so they can demo. It's got cool old school meters on it, which we all like. And that's it. There's no giant power wire going into this. And this thing rails. They've had it in the truck now since March. You guys have been beating the hell out of it. It's been going all over the country. It finally made it to us. We just jammed on it. This thing has been sitting here on for, I don't know, 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is cool stuff. This is really cool stuff.
Freeman says we need more beer.
Freeman, get back to your Australia trip, man.
We're gonna have to tell that story later, Bill. But that one will live forever for sure.
Rockford people, you guys are all weird.
Yeah.
Okay, so second technology.
So the second technology is called ActEQ. Now this one's really cool because what it does is essentially what monitors the input audio signal and compares it to the output audio signal. So if the audio signal on the output changes, for example, like clipping, right? The microprocessor looks at that and it kind of keeps a score. So if you keep clipping it and you start to get a higher score, the amplifier
overachiever.
The amplifier will turn down the output, the gain on the amplifier in 0.8 dB increments. Right?
Oh, until it sees it stop clipping.
Yeah, so it doesn't compress the audio signal, it just turns it down a little bit.
Okay.
So let's say, for example, you're on a boat, right? And you go out on the boat, you're with Bill Freeman, and he doesn't want to run out of beer. So, the more you drink, your hearing kind of gets full of beer and you can't hear anymore. So you have to turn it up a little bit more. Well, the more you turn it up, if the audio system isn't set up correctly and you drive the amplifier into clipping, a normal amplifier would still play that signal, but it would just blow every speaker on the boat, right?
Correct.
And you've probably seen that where somebody goes out for a weekend and they come back. And, So with our amplifier, when it sees that, it'll allow that to happen maybe once or twice. And then as it starts to clip even more, the amplifier goes, well, hold on. If I keep doing that, I'm going to blow the speakers up. So I'm going to turn it down. And 0.8 dB doesn't seem like much.
It is.
But it means a lot to that because you're looking at that musical peak, right?
Well,
so
anyone who's ever looked at an amplifier in a clip light, it's literally 25, 24, 25, 24. So that's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. So that technology is really cool because one, as technicians, we can overgain the system a little bit. And then we can listen to it And we listen to a lot of different types of music. So let's say we're listening to like an old rock track that's not recorded as hot as like a modern track. So we want a little bit more headroom. So we can turn that up and listen to it. And then let's say like a more modern track comes on, and it's a lot hotter. Well, then that's going to drive the amplifier a little bit harder and probably in the clipping. So then it just kind of pulls back a little bit.
Now this circuit. Cool. This circuit is in this.
Yes.
Is it in any other amplifiers?
It's in the entry-level Marine amplifiers as well.
So the silver.
The Marine version of that.
Okay.
Yeah. So that microprocessor also monitors amplifier temperature, heatsink temperature. In the case of the Mezo amps, it also monitors battery temperature, current, voltage. So it looks at a lot of different things to make these determinations.
How come you didn't put in the automotive one?
In the entry-level one?
Yeah.
I think that's going to be something we may need to look at.
I mean, I really feel that's. I mean,
yeah.
Because everyone's just going to buy the Marine one. I mean, that's what I want to sell. I need the one that's idiot-proof.
Yeah.
Don't break my speakers, please.
Yeah.
So are the Marine versus 12 volt? Are they all going to be silver? Is that the goal? Or
yeah, I think that. Well, so the car ones are going to have a little bit different finish, like that. It's hard to tell on the camera, but the Marine ones are pretty light.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's going to be a little bit darker finish on the automotive ones.
Okay.
Yeah. So
now, will the automotive ones have that EQ feature built into them?
Yes.
On these
Mezo amps.
Okay,
yes.
so the Mezos will have all that, whether it's Marine or not.
Yes.
And for the guy asking how much power, if you have your phone out 800 times 4, I'm sorry, 200 times 4, 200 times 8. See, this is why I can't do it. 200 times 8 times 4, and that's the total.
Yeah.
It's in the back seat of the truck.
What's in the back seat of the truck?
Oh, subwoofer wise.
Oh, subwoofers. Yes. So. The subwoofers in the Cybertruck, there are 4 Modus Apex 12s. They're dual 2-ohm coils, and they're in the blow-through. So they're in the bed of the truck.
Grab the phone, Fernando?
Yep.
We'll have Fernando run back there and show you.
Gary's got to the amp go back to the original setting once. Yes. So it's constantly making decisions based on what's happening in the amplifier. So if you're in full throttle mode and you can't hear out on the lake, then the amplifier will continue to make that decision to keep turning the gain down. When you turn it back down, it will go back to its normal. So the 412-inch subwoofers are in a pretty big 7.5-foot enclosure in the bed, and that grill right there is where the back window used to be. So the subwoofer enclosure is actually vented through that. So it fires through that. So that way the tonneau cover still works and everything. So the tonneau is actually open right now, so that's why you can kind of see the background. But the subwoofer enclosure is in the bed, and it fires through that back window. So it's pretty cool, and it's plenty loud.
Okay. All right. So we kind of covered the amplifiers. I think everyone gets that because, I mean, with Tony and with this now, I think we've covered all the amplifiers.
Yep.
But I think where a lot of people were curious was on. Oh, I'm going to go to this one. Was this guy right here, the radio?
Yeah.
Because this is part of this that, okay, what do we got going on here? What is, I like knobs. I don't like knobs.
Yep.
Talk to me, Goose. What am I looking at?
So this is the AIM 10 automotive receiver. So it's a 10.1-inch screen. It's got a single DIN chassis, and it's modular. So what that means, you can separate the chassis from the screen.
Okay.
And it connects via a USB-C type cable.
Mm-hmm.
The button cluster is removable. So when you look at that button cluster, like a lot of people, they like that look and feel in the knob and just to be able to control it. But in some applications, like if you're going to do a custom application, you're going to separate the chassis from the screen and you want to flush mount that screen, you can detach that button cluster. We will have, in the future, we're going to have a software update for that, and we're going to put the soft buttons on the screen.
Okay.
So you'll have that control for volume and track up and down stuff. It'll be on the screen. So when these release in about a month and a half, they're going to come with a button cluster.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys will have them. You can install them, And then if you need to remove the button cluster, we're going to have that software update available in a couple months. We're working on a new GUI and everything. So our guys are working really hard on that. So we want to release the head unit so it's out there.
Right.
But that button cluster, it's 2 screws and it just comes off, and then you'll have to update the software to get that control there. So we're going to release that software at a later point, but the head unit will be out here in about a month and a half or so.
So the question that I'm going to ask is, can we move the button cluster? Can we relocate it?
You could. It'll take some custom work.
Yeah.
You'll have to move it. We're gonna one of the projects that's kind of in the on the whiteboard right now is a separate wired remote for that.
Okay.
So we'll take a look at that and see how viable that is. But
the goal is to just make it removable.
Yeah, so that way for flush mount applications.
Right.
The other thing too for dealers out there, for guys like you, we're gonna provide the CAD files. So when you do go and try to flush mount that, we don't want you to spend time measuring that. We're just going to give you that drawing so you can do that. So mounting holes and everything, we're gonna provide the CAD files for authorized dealers.
So this is a funny question. So the Modus window, what is that made out of?
That's 3/16 steel.
Okay, it's 3/16 steel. And why is that 3/16 inch steel?
We don't want it to rattle.
Because when it first was out.
Yeah, we didn't want it to rattle, and we didn't want anybody to stick their hand in there. There were a lot of people putting their phones in there.
Yes.
And I didn't want to have to fish a phone out of the enclosure.
Yeah, for sure.
So but plexiglass window on the top.
Wouldn't have.
Well, you can't see out the back anyway.
Yeah.
Because the tonneau cover, the Cybertruck.
Totally
the Cybertruck's funny like that. It has a rear view mirror, which is useless.
Yeah, I don't
unless
get that either.
You want to look at the Modus logo.
Yeah.
But
everything is through the screen.
Yeah, everything's through the screen.
So back to the radios for a minute, or for more than a minute. Let's kind of talk about some of the cool features that the radio is going to have.
Okay.
Android radio with your operating OS on it. I mean, pretty much, I feel at this point everyone's radio is that way. For the most part.
It's just easier to update.
They make a really nice mobile OS to layer over the top of. So how many pre-outs?
8.
4 volt, 5 volt.
4 volt and low impedance. Something that most people don't talk about.
What is low impedance?
So the low impedance is really important for the signal to transfer across a long distance, right? So if the impedance is too high, you're going to be more susceptible to noise. So old school radios, that was a spec that we always talked about with the old Eclipse radios. Even the old Rockford radios were 8 volts, 50 ohm source impedance. So we're less than 100 ohm source impedance. So just better signal quality across that. And then we've got Toslink. So digital Toslink variable with the volume control.
Yep.
ID Link Maestro.
Yep, that's important.
Okay. 4 negative auxiliary outputs. So there are 4 negative triggers that are programmable for either momentary or latched.
Okay.
4 camera inputs.
Okay.
So either composite or AHD with 2 auxiliary trigger inputs. So for blind spot cameras with the turn signals.
So 4 plus 2.
No, 4, and then the triggers for the 2 if you want.
That's what I'm saying. There's an additional 2 triggers for the cameras.
Yes.
So if you wanted to do trigger for front, trigger for whatever.
Yeah, or turn signals
that don't have anything to do. Okay, wow, that's pretty cool. Okay.
Yeah. So, and then like I said, the modular chassis.
Yeah.
So that's pretty.
So you can separate them out.
Yes.
Is there going to be an extension?
Yes.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
EQ wise.
EQ wise, it's a 15 band EQ on board per channel, and since it's 8 channels of pre-out, there's also a dual front crossover and then EQ for each channel or each pair of channels. So you can do a fully active system right from the head unit through the onboard crossovers. So
crazy question. You may not have the answer to this, but I'm gonna ask anyways. When you're in Toslink mode, do you keep the EQ settings? It's a crazy one, I know.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'd have to double check and make sure.
It's okay. It's
also the 7-inch and the 10-inch are wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay.
Yes.
Correct?
Yeah.
Is the 7-inch coming out with the 10-inch, or is the 10-inch?
The 7 and the 10 I think are going to be out kind of around the same time frame. Yeah. So 7-inch doubled in.
Now, isn't there? Okay, so if my memory isn't fading too fast, is there going to be a bigger one than a 10-inch?
Yeah, we did show a 12 and a 15.
I remember.
Yeah,
it
I was
the
gonna
big
say.
one at
Yeah.
the
There were
show,
some
yeah.
monsters.
Yeah, so we're working on those. Not sure on the release date on those yet, but
So
yeah,
next
there
year
was a
sometime.
12 and a 15 as well.
There you go.
And those went vertical or horizontal.
That's the thing that we're running into is it's really hard because all of our stuff is truly certified by Apple and Android.
Oh wait,
So-
no, wow, really? Okay.
Yeah, so there's a thing with that going vertical that kind of hinders certification.
Of
for
course.
that. So, in order for us to keep that, we need to make sure that we abide by their rules. So
Right.
They don't
Because you're going from this to
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's really kind of the hang up sometimes with that stuff. So we have to.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because we can do it. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously you've seen other guys do
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
but
yeah.
having that certification,
Yeah.
you know, it kind of because it's just weird. I mean, Apple could just go, all right, well, we're going to update software, and if you're not certified, and they haven't done it, like obviously because a lot of people are doing it,
Stealing
but,
their crap.
yeah,
Yeah.
but we don't want to be those guys.
No,
So,
for sure.
Yeah.
And if some of you guys are out there going, what are you talking about? I know this is going to sound weird, but all the little streamers that you get to add wireless to your wired CarPlay, those aren't Apple certified. Don't get me wrong. I've been using one since I bought my car because, except for now I have a radio that actually does that. But those aren't Apple certified. So to be Apple certified or Android certified, there is a process, and they're really picky sometimes about what you can and can't do with the display of their radio because they want to control the user experience.
Yeah, it's got to
More-
be consistent.
Yeah,
with-
from car to car to car, from
Yeah.
screen to screen to screen.
So it's quite the process. I mean, you know, being on this end of it, and you know, I mean, we weren't just launching a amplifier line. I mean, it's a whole
Yeah,
line of
you guys
products,
went. You guys went full crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, our head unit team, you know, there are things that like we want, you know, on our end, like car audio guy wants, hey, we want all this, and it's like, but we have to follow the rules, and it's like, well, why does everybody else get to do it? You know, well, I mean, you know, we
They
would
don't
love
follow
to.
the rules.
Yeah, we're different. You know, we're
We're
just
trying
like
to play
that,
with the big boys
Yeah.
to be real.
Yep.
Speaking of radios, now we do have a prototype here for the marine industry,
Yeah.
or anybody for that matter. To say this is the epitome of the little black box.
So
So we're gonna get Fernando to go show us what we're looking at here.
yeah, this
You're
is
all set and ready to go.
yeah, this is cool because well, I mean, hey, we're here with you guys, and this is the first time that
Yeah, no one has seen this yet.
no one has ever seen this. I had to get permission to show this. We're gonna show this at IBEX, but this is a marine product. This is our black box radio. This is the MX30BB, and it's a black box unit. So this will tie into, you know, your OEM screens on boats, on marine vessels. So it's internal power is 40x4. It's 4 zones, and each zone has its own subwoofer output. Okay. It's made to tie in with OEM touchscreens on the boats. There is a A2B function for future output. So, you know, kind of keep that in mind for the future. NEMA 2000 and NEMA OpenNet for full control on MFDs. So this is kind of cool. I mean, like I said, we're in town for IBEX, so that's what this is. It's a prototype that was just a render a couple of weeks ago, and Jaron over at Delta Concepts built this prototype out for us. So it's going to be on display at the IBEX show. But hey, you guys watching here live?
A couple things about this that I thought were unique, and that you pointed out, being a car audio guy yourself, and obviously we're car audio guys, is that this is a black box that can also, though it can be controlled by your big screen, it's also an app controlled device. So everything you can do on this can be controlled from an app.
Yep.
So what that basically means is if you have a phone or a pad or a tablet or something like that, and you would like a magic box that still gives you all of the cool features that you're looking for, this is a device that'll do that.
Yep.
And as you saw, it has a Toslink output. So for all the nerds, they'll be happy. But everything can be controlled via zones. So you could put this into a custom car where you have a tailgate, you know, a rear audio system. You have a front audio system. So there's a lot of applications for stuff like this in the automotive world that we haven't even thought of yet.
Yeah.
So that'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, and I mean, hot rods. So those applications where, I mean, when you do a full hot rod interior, I mean, if it's
Yeah, it's like yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man, we're full throttle over here at Modus. So yeah, that thing's gonna be really cool. This black box. I mean, like I see it like in automotive, like for hot rods. Where you're redoing the whole interior and you want to make it period correct. Well, we didn't have doubled-in radios, back.
Yeah, or floating screens.
Yeah, so this can be, controlled via app. You can still have really good sound and have all the cool functionality, but just, a hidden away, a high-end hidden away unit. So
okay, Fernando.
That's going to be cool. That'll be at IBEX this week. But, hey, man, you saw it here first with 5-star and Dean Fernando. So breaking news.
and the radius is small.
Yeah.
It's like you can totally just gonna grab it real quick.
Yeah.
But it's like you can see it. This is the mouse. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
For everything that it does, it's highly impressive.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So, all right. So let's talk about. So we got radios. We have source unit. We know those are coming. Those are right around the corner. We have the 7. We have the 10. We've talked about some specs on that. Really excited about those. Those sound really intriguing. We've talked about some of the marine stuff, some of the car stuff. Obviously, the amplifiers. Everybody's just to the point now where they just want them.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this because obviously, if somebody rolls in with a Cybertruck, this is what they're getting. It's like that easy. Let's talk about
looking for the radios.
Yeah, I know you're looking for the radios.
Yeah.
Let's talk about speakers.
Okay.
Because this is a full line.
Yep.
Of just, as you said, very ambitious. Heard the speakers that are in this. They're incredible. What did you want to say?
No, before you jump into the speakers, I don't know if you guys answered this one.
Oh, yes.
We did. We got
it
that
goes
one.
back. Yeah, it will go back. So it's constantly making those decisions and we'll go back. So, I mean, if you turn it down, it'll just...
Right. Okay, so... so this is a Cybertruck. This basically has 4s because it uses that European style and it has some tweeters.
Yeah.
We're pumping 200 watts to them, and they are. This thing screams. Okay, this thing sounds incredible. But let's talk about the plan for speakers, just in general.
So automotive. Well, let's talk marine speakers first.
Yeah,
because that's going to be out
board.
first. So
yep.
Marine speakers are going to be available in 6.5, 7.7, and 8.8.
Okay.
And if you look at the website, those are all up there. So there's 2 grill styles. So they're, of course, marine rated. We use all weatherproof Deutsch connectors. They're available. Go back the other way. So they're available in black and white. So like that 8.8 was a classic grill. So that grill comes in the box in both white and black.
Oh, cool.
And one thing that you'll see with that is you don't see any mounting screws. So the speaker will mount and then the grill kind of cam locks in. So you'll put the grill on, you'll rotate it
right
about 1/8 of a turn and it'll cam lock into place. So it hides all of the mounting hardware. Of course, RGB, really important. But it's got an oversized like 1.1 inch dome tweeter.
Yeah, it looks huge.
Yeah. So for that application, it needs to be, that big because of the environment and, we want it to play loud.
No way.
Yeah, and it's nice because I mean we've worked on these for quite some time, and it's interesting. Like you listen to like a marine speaker and it just screams and wants to rip your face off. These are really loud, but they don't have that like weird peakiness,
right?
So it makes it a little bit easier to listen to them. If you're gonna be out on the water, and you want to have it at a really decent volume, you don't want it to hurt your ears. So. And then so there's a classic grill, the sport grill available, and then so right now we've got 2 lines of speakers that are going to be shipping soon. So the AXS are Apex, like I said, those are available in 8.8, 7.7, and 6.5, and then the PTS, which is our Portale, which is the entry level speakers. Yeah, so that's just our entry level speaker, super high efficiency, about 91.5 dB efficient.
Oh yeah.
But that pairs really well with like our radios, so like a pontoon boat or something like that. Our radios, our MX12 entry level and our MX23 are 6 channels.
Okay.
So good power if you're just pontoon boat or anything like that. That just works out really well. So so those are going to be coming soon. And then there's a whole lineup of marine subwoofers as well. So 10 and 12 inch infinite baffle. I'm not sure if our team got those up there yet, but I'm sure they'll be up there soon. And then automotive speakers are totally brand new now. Those aren't going to be on the website yet because those are still in development.
So before we get into that, Gary
Yeah.
actually brings up a good question.
Okay.
And this is actually a really good question. It says, why not make a single line instead of an automotive and a marine line? And that's kind of where I look at it, because I feel a lot of manufacturers, that's what they do. If it's, oh, you need a marine amp? Hold on. Now it's white. You got a marine amp. You guys aren't doing that.
Yeah, so that's a great question, and that actually did come up in internal discussions. So the marine amplifier, there's a couple of things with the marine amplifier. The marine amp has a full-blown DSP built into it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's a 30 band parametric EQ time alignment crossover for marine applications. The heatsink is IP rated, so it's heavier, it's bigger, it's got more mass. So we talked about just taking that and just making it just one amplifier line,
Mm-hmm.
and then just calling it amplifier, and you could use it in either one. The issue that we have with that is the DSP is really good for marine. It's not ready for automotive applications. And you guys know,
Yes.
a DSP in an automotive world, yeah, I can have all the really cool output EQ stuff, but the input EQ, correction, signal summing, things like that, that's really important.
Yes.
And I spent a lot of time doing DSP stuff. And
So just to get a backstory, he worked for MSC, aka Helix, for a very long time, along with also working for Audison. So when it comes to DSP, he has more than a toe in the water. Let's just go with that. Okay, moving forward.
Yeah, so it's got to be right. And, for this lineup, we just need to spend a little bit more time to make it right. So would that be one lineup in the future if we can combine the two? Yes, from a manufacturer standpoint, it does make sense. And I don't think that's anything we're going to rule out. But right now, the way it is today, it's going to be a separate marine line. And the marine stuff is coming out first. So not to say, we go down the road, we get that DSP right. We just call it an amplifier line. So the Modus, current averaging lineup,
Mm-hmm.
in Modus, Mezo. But right now, yes, there are two in that, and in the amplifier lineup, it's slated for two marine and automotive. The marine entry level, to Gary's question, there are two entry level amplifiers. The marine amplifier, the channel configurations that the marine market requires are different from car.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same style chassis as that Mezo amp with the Deutsch connectors. And then the entry-level car amp is just standard connectors in a little bit lighter heatsink, right? So it's cost prohibitive on that one because the heatsink is really expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So in a marine application, people tend to spend a little bit more money because it's marine.
Mm-hmm.
But in an automotive application, to hit the price point in an entry-level amplifier, it had to kind of fit in a certain box. So there are a lot of discussions and decisions that have to be made on that manufacturer level. I don't disagree with you. It would be nice to have one, but until we get the DSP right, and we know that we have to do it, it's required in almost everything.
Anybody that follows Tony knows he's working on DSP right now. He literally set the internet on fire the other day talking about stuff. Are Tony and Juan behind the product engineering or just the amps?
Tony and Juan are in our company, are in charge of all engineering. So they have their finger on pretty much everything, or have their say in everything. So they obviously they've got a pedigree in electronics, but you guys know they built Diamond Box, and that thing sounds amazing. So when it comes to speakers, yes, we're going to lean on them for their experience and expertise on that. So they are an integral part of all product engineering.
Makes sense.
Is Modus based out of California?
Yes, Southern California.
You live in Arizona.
I live in Arizona, yes.
That's the great thing about the modern world. Webinars.
Yeah, right now I live in a Cybertruck.
Yeah, let me tell you what, I'm not saying anything, but
Yeah, well,
no.
air conditioned seats.
Balls. Okay, let's talk about automotive speakers for a minute.
Yeah.
What are we looking at? Do we have? Okay, let's be wide on this one a little bit.
Yes.
So, are we looking at multiple series?
Yes.
So entry level, medium, high, like the standard 3 series kind of thing.
Yes. Yep.
Obviously, we have 3 amps. We want to kind of 3
Right.
amps, 2 real platforms.
Yeah. So our high end speaker line will be. I can tell you that it will be all a la carte.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
you're gonna. We'll have a.
He understands the world.
Yeah. Weird, right? Yeah. So you know, really high end tweeter, wideband, 2 and 2.5 inch wideband, 4-inch mid, 6.5 inch mid bass, 8-inch mid bass. Optional passive crossover if you need it for the tweeter mid or mid wideband and mid range.
Which makes a lot of sense because that's the full German thing. And I feel most manufacturers haven't been able to figure out that.
Yeah.
You know, you've worked for the 2 companies that have kind of understood that.
Yeah.
Like Audison really understood that. They didn't do a good job of implementing it, but they really did hey, you can do this. It's like, but you don't give us the tools to do it.
Yeah, and there's some really cool technology stuff that our speaker team is working on that I'm going to be
keep saying that.
It's going to be really exciting to be able to kind of talk about that. But I mean, there's some really cool things happening on the speaker engineering side that's pretty groundbreaking as far as like simulations and things like that our speaker team has been kind of developing in a sense. That's that working with with the big, and I don't want to say that, but the big speaker measurement tool, they work hand in hand with those guys. So I mean, it's really cool to kind of see the simulations that they're doing and what it's, we're in the prototyping phase right now, so those are prototypes in there. So that's looking really cool because the technology that they're working on is really awesome. So
doing a 6x9 in one of the lines?
We are doing a 6x9. So in our midline, we're going to do a la carte on the tweeter, wideband, and 8-inch driver. And then I'm going to have a kit in a 4-inch component kit, 6.5, 6x9. And then the mid-level will also have coaxial speakers.
Okay.
And then the entry level will be component kits in 6.5, 6x9. And I think we're doing a 4-inch component kit. And then there's coaxials in that as well. So the high line will be a la carte. The midline will have a la carte tweeters and mids and wideband. So if you need to get like a 6.5 inch kit and then add the wideband to it, you can do that. And then our entry level will be all kit based. But there will be 6x9s in the line.
The midline, which is
shallow.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Hey.
Hey. Whoa.
Yeah, they gotta fit. It's cool. Yeah, you can
have all the 6x9s you want. They don't fit. Yeah, we know what those are.
Yeah, we want stuff to fit in cars. And then the other cool thing that I'll mention to you guys is that all of our product, for our dealers. So dealers that are watching or consumers that are watching out there have confidence in the dealers that Modus, we will provide CAD files for you guys. So any type of fabrication, like with the head units, if you want to flush mount it, we're going to give you the drawings for that. So that way it helps your process be more efficient. We're going to verify those. But like if you want to make like an amp rack or a panel like those, we're going to give you that file, that 2D file, and you can put it in laser and be confident that you can cut that, or if you want to make a trim panel or something like that. So I think that's something that's really important, especially in today's age where, I mean, you guys have 2 lasers, CNC, like 3D printers, to help build these systems out. And, and we just want to make sure that we're as efficient as possible. Like this is Modus is a company. It's car audio for car audio guys. I mean,
nerds for nerds.
Yeah, we've all been doing this for a long time. Our whole team is very, very experienced. So I mean, just that little thing right there, when I talk to people about that, it's like, oh man, that's, you spend 20, 30, 45 minutes drawing something out, and have a test cut it, make sure we've already done that. We have the drawings. We have our our whole team. Jared Bells is our industrial designer. I mean, he draws everything, and we have all that stuff.
Right.
Just like let's just
give us the speakers. That's what we need. We need the speaker mounts.
So yeah, we're gonna do that.
give me the speaker stuff. That'll make my life easy.
Yep.
Well, heck, what have we missed?
Man, we're on the road with this thing.
Yes.
I mean, it's real. So IBEX this week, we're going to be on the road. We're going to head north after IBEX, Electrify Expo. So if you guys haven't been following that, it's a pretty cool tour of not just electric vehicles, but just electric everything. So scooters, e-bikes.
Mhm.
We're a part of that tour. So check that out. We're going to be in Long Island, New York in a couple weeks, and then we're going to be in Dallas in November.
Okay.
And then we're going to start back up with them next year. Of course, we're going to be at MassTech Expo.
Of course.
Things are rocking and rolling over here at Modus. So, I mean, I know everybody's been patiently waiting for us to get product out on the streets, and that's coming really soon. Really, really soon. So we've been out there, we've been seeing dealers and just kind of, trying to get everybody,
Getting everybody excited again.
Yeah. So it's been fun. And, if you see us out there, in this thing,
Asked to hear it.
Yeah, for sure. I know when Jaron drove it across country from Northern California to Chicago, he did.
So you guys can go on Instagram, right? And just follow the page.
Yeah, global.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
yes.
and then our website is modusglobal.com. But yeah, Jaron was out. And he drove it from Northern California to Chicago, and he did a couple of demos at charging stations for people.
Yeah,
So
we did that once at a Buc-ee's.
Yeah,
Buc-ee's is fun.
Hey man, I was able to hit 2 Buc-ee's on the way down here.
Isn't it the best?
Oh,
God, it's like you just want to go to the bathroom so bad.
And they've got like the best charging stations for those things.
Really?
Oh man, yeah, like
that makes sense.
But and the snacks.
Oh yeah, I mean the snacks are like. Yeah. We did one road trip, and that's all.
Yeah,
because that was enough.
The brisket is okay. I had high hopes for the brisket.
Yeah, so it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, and this guy gets a freaking chili dog.
Oh. And
we're gonna be trapped in the truck for like the next. I'm like, dude, seriously, man? Like, what is wrong with you?
Really good.
He's over there like, oh, chili dog, with onions. I'm like, oh god, we're gonna die. Yeah. Not gonna make it. All right, guys. Well, there you go. There's a look at Modus. Thank you, Jason, for coming on the show. We hope this answers some of your questions about the products. Right around the corner in a couple weeks, basically November, some of this is going to start to hit the stores. And then look forward. Basically, we're going to see a steady flow of product from like November into second quarter next year.
Yeah. We're going to start rolling stuff out, and we're just going to keep evolving. So we're going to keep going. So yeah, follow us on our journey at on Instagram, Modus Global. I'm Modus_Jason. So I'll kind of post up stuff too along the way, like in my travels. So, but yeah, we're out there. So I mean, if you ever see us or at an Electrify Expo or something, come out and get a demo. And this thing is gonna, we're building out a couple more vehicles. So
oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Jaren's gonna work on
keeping him busy.
Yeah. Tony's Model X.
Oh,
so
fantastic.
That's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Juan just bought a new Model Y.
Oh, look at you guys! You guys are all.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
So I mean, getting the stuff in the cars, like I said, we're car audio guys. So I mean, when the engineering guys have systems in their cars, that's gonna be. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. Hey, you know what? We're gonna talk about that because I've got the one of the first head units. I think I talked to you about this, but I'm gonna get one of the first head units out there.
Look who it is.
Brother Mike. Ah, man. So yeah, it's gonna be cool, man. There's a lot of cool stuff out there. So we're super excited. We're super excited that you guys are excited. So man, we're rocking and rolling, man. It's gonna be cool.
All right, guys. If you're in Tampa this weekend, head over to IBEX. If you're not, just stay tuned. Anytime we get something exciting to talk about, we'll get somebody on to talk about it, or they'll just send it to us and we'll talk about it there. But thank you guys so much for joining us on this Friday special edition. We hope you guys have a wonderful time. Don't worry, tomorrow night is Saturday. We will still be doing the Saturday show. This is a bonus. Yeah. You guys got the bonus round. Thank you, Jason. Yeah. Thank you for taking the time and coming on here and sharing everything with us. Dougie. You guys have a wonderful Friday night, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
See you guys.
Bye, guys.
Fade to black.